money goes farther. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so whatever I bring home, instead of making maybe a third, maybe I can make half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on what I'm bringing home because, you know, that's what your overhead is.
Yeah.
People have said you have all this stuff. Why don't you have a store? I've got the paperwork. I have to have a place. I have to have insurance. You know, I have to pay help because I can't be there 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
We've got utilities. You know, I don't have that out here.
Exactly.
I pay
So
my gas. I pay my space.
yeah.
I may bust my ass out here on the ice in the winter because they didn't clean it right. You know, things like that. But generally, not a whole lot of complaints.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll meet a tremendously diverse amount of people.
Yeah.
You know, but it truly is. My brother, if he hit anything on the head, aside from the fact that I think you should sell military surplus because it's marketable, which was A1. Um, the rest of it was it's a huge equalizer. You're on an even playing field. There's no management that's going to tell you this, that, and the other, or can fire you or do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're gonna your business is going to be what you make it. You know, if you have the right product.
Yeah. So like I was saying, you know, like the five utilities of being out here, I was cut off earlier, but is the you know the tax component,
Mm-hmm.
the ability to purchase good quality goods at a fair and decent price,
Mm-hmm.
an ability to support the local economy as well.
Right.
So you know, I mean, you were expanding on that, but the idea is that you know it's important to do this because
Yeah.
this is the antithesis. This is the beginning of free market capitalism
Yeah.
of truly trading value for value.
It's
And
funny that you got to go
yeah.
backwards to do that. This
Mhm.
is how it always was done.
Mhm. And it's a beautiful thing to see
Oh, it is.
this
It is.
taking place as well,
Mhm.
and such on a massive scale,
Yeah.
without anybody. Because one of the things that I don't never see out here is a cop.
They're here, but generally speaking, it's
It's never necessary
no.
to you
Once in
know.
a while, you'll
Yeah.
get somebody. I think the last time I remember a cop here, well, actually, it was twice last year. You know, they show up and kind of roam periodically,
Yeah.
just like we have the the tax, the tax Nazis come through once or twice. You want to check your paperwork if you have your tax number. I haven't seen them yet this year, but I'm sure they'll be through. But
Mhm.
that was to break up an argument because some guy had a Nazi flag on his thing, and it was telling the guy what a disgrace it was. And I don't get involved in that kind of stuff. I don't carry that kind of stuff. But couldn't you just walk past it and ignore it?
Exactly. I mean,
You don't want to go in there, don't go in there.
you don't agree
Right.
with somebody as long as that guy
Exactly.
is not infringing on
Right.
anybody
And he didn't tell you
else's.
to come into his booth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
If he wants to have a
basically that's what the
Nazi
cop
flag
said.
there, let him
Yeah.
have a Nazi
And that's
flag there.
basically what the cop said.
Yeah.
Whether it's good, bad taste, good taste, it's an equal opportunity employer or non-employer out here. But there was one that broke that fight up, and then the same guy was back a week later because somebody had tried to bring back a chainsaw that they bought. They never showed up until a month later, and it was clearly used, but it was bought as new. Now the tree was down, he wanted to return it,
Yeah.
and the guy wouldn't take it back.
Mhm.
And finally the cop, he said, it's not Macy's, it's not Home Depot. You buy it, it's buyer beware,
Exactly.
and you're all, you all understand that when you're selling it and you're buying it.
Yeah.
So they come through as quiet mediators.
Mhm.
I haven't really seen much of anything. ATF comes through periodically to make sure there's no firearms. Can you flip it around the other side? That's 22. And they'll come through to make sure you don't have certain things on your table. I have seen them confiscate knives, things like that.
Mhm.
I haven't had that issue. But if you're stupid enough to not know what the regulations are, then they're going to take your stuff.
Yeah.
And they're not going to rummage through 3 tables worth of stuff to say, do they have anything? They have to have a reason to look at your table.
Yeah.
I'd be a prime person, but I carry bayonets. Illegal.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, you going home?
Doing any inventory all in electronic?
that?
You doing all your inventory with electronics?
Absolutely. Yes. They're 10. 10.
Or is this your new security system?
No, this is a gentleman that's shopped with me many times, so we're talking about the pluses of Flea Market.
And I'm interviewing her for my YouTube page.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But closing it out, is there anything that you want to say in closing? I mean, we've had such a delightful conversation today, and
Yeah, I always enjoy
and
seeing
listening to you, and listening, and learning from your experiences. I think it's true value in of itself
Oh, it
to
is.
people out there to hear.
And the
This is what's
experience
really
valuable.
going on in the society as we go through this collapse, as we
Yeah.
go through this decay, how can we as individuals take the initiative to do for ourselves, to provide for ourselves and our families instead of depending on someone else to provide for them.
Exactly.
So in closing, is there anything else that you want to say?
I just think it's an equal opportunity type thing. Anybody can make a go of it. It's going to be hard work. There's nothing wrong with that. You can make a living or at least supplement your living. And it's been an all-around good experience for me. It's given me my independence back financially and just mentally. I'm very happy with that. It's not an easy job, but if it was, everybody'd do it. So I think it's great. I think between this and barter, sometimes going backwards is the only way you can go forwards. And this is how people did it for years. It's not a new concept. It's just kind of been revitalized. Just like barter that we were talking about before. And I think that they're a little uncomfortable with dickering sometimes when they come out, or they're a little bit uncomfortable with the idea of barter, but it's going to catch on pretty fast. The people that have not had that experience that are going to find out like, wow, I can get so much more for my money.
Yeah.
Or for my labor.
Yes.
So it's great.
So what do you see us in the next 5 years, 10 years? I mean,
not a hell of a lot different than this. I don't think you're going to have, a change of administration in 5 years isn't going to do much of anything. People are still going to be trying to catch their breath. I think you've got a government right now that's disappointed everybody. I think the thing that appalls me most about the top of the government is this was an individual, and I voted for him twice. And I respect the fact that he holds the position he holds and everything. But I think he was in the catbird seat. He could have done so much good. And it wasn't like, oh, the first black president. He could have been a phenomenal first black president. He could have been a phenomenal purple or pink president. He's not a phenomenal president. I don't think he had the qualifications for the job. And I think there's too many distractions when you don't have the qualifications for a job. So I think it's going to take you a good long time, like a second term at least for somebody else, and God knows who's going to be able to step up, because it's become more of a vote. Who do you want to vote against rather than who you want to vote for? So I don't think we're going to see any dynamic changes. I just don't.
I've come to learn and understand that when a politician is lying is when his mouth is
when
moving.
He opens his mouth, exactly.
So whether it's black, white,
matter.
we should know no man after the flesh, but after the spirit. And it's unfortunate that his spirit is corrupt to the core.
Yeah, it's just a shame because as a voter you don't know that you have X amount in front of you. It's always the best X amount they want to show you, in spite of the vetting process. And at the rest of it, he was hit between the eyes with an awful mess when he walked in. Nobody can fix that. But I think make a decision, be definitive, and then say, oops, it was a wrong decision. But at least make the goddamn decision.
Yeah.
Don't just ignore things and do what you're doing. And too many people have done that. Nobody's gonna. There's no quick fix. There's no quick fix. And until more people are ready to stand up and step up and try to do something, either to change their household and then maybe change their neighborhood and then eventually change the politics, it's not going to change. And I really wonder, like we were talking earlier, one of the gentlemen was here before, everybody's so overwhelmed by the negativity and the bias and the hands tied and the incompetence and the irresponsibility and the arrogance all rolled into one. And everybody says there has to be a change, but I don't think anybody knows how to do it. And because it's gotten so overwhelming, all you can do is try to change your household.
Don't you think change comes from within?
Oh, it does. It does. That's what I said before on my own personal level here. This changed me back to more of who I was before all the encumbrances of being married in a situation that was going nowhere and, depended on a different financial pattern. Now I have my independence back. I'm a happier person, so my household is happier. And I sleep like a baby, So
that is a true testimony of transformation, of change, of
Absolutely.
triumph, of overcoming, and not of surviving, but of thriving.
45. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And when you see more people willing to go out and do that and get rid of some of the fluff in your house and get back down to basics.
Well, we're going to be forced to do that anyway.
Well, we are.
Yeah.
But if you do it and everybody on the planet starts to, the country starts to do it, maybe we can actually get it to happen at the top.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much crap going on. There's too much fluff. Everybody's concerned about, just the China match. I haven't worried about whether the kids are eating.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, it's been a good experience. But I don't see any huge changes in general across the boards. You see little bits of pluses here, but then you open the paper and you see 17 minuses the next day.
Yeah. Well, I'll close it out with that. But thank you so much for your words. I know that I'm encouraged as I listen to you, and I know a lot of other people will
It's been a great
receive
ride
the.
so far. It really has. It's not been without its bumps, but it's been a great ride, and I hope to do it for a long time.
Actually, persevere and do not fear.
Absolutely.
All right, but thank you so much.
Thank you. And I again forgot your first name.
Randy.
Randy. I wrote it in my book, so I would.
That's okay. That's okay. It's like, we know one another when we see each other's faces.
And people will come in and they'll go, "Oh, you don't remember my name?" It's like, you come out and you see one or two military surplus people out here, man. I'll see 300 in a day.
That's
of
okay.
People buying things. It's like, he's my two boot guy.
Yeah, there you
really
go.
Cute little boy and the wife that rolled her eyes like, "Are we doing this again?"
Thanks. All right.
Mm-hmm.